So I'll open Gmail first and then start. So I'm opening my Gmail. Then whatever you have Gmail, so you can use it for Google Cloud account. Okay. So I have Gmail account and I'm opening Google Cloud account. So here I'll have multiple accounts. So I'll use different Google Cloud account. Okay. You see. So when you like normally Google Cloud. So you can create a free account, Google Cloud account. Okay. So after you create it, the page will be look like this way. So here there are two options, console. You can click anyone, then it will go to Google Cloud page so that there we can see all the options. Okay. So that you can just register whatever you are using Gmail ID. Okay, same you can do it, or else you can create a separate Gmail account and then you can use it for your Google Cloud. Okay, it's a free trial. You see, $300 they'll provide you free, so you can use it. It's validity 1 year, I guess. Yeah. So I just opened Google Cloud account here. So my different mail ID configured. So I'll go to console page. So here you can find it. So when you launch a Google Cloud Platform page, you can see like this way, the page will be. So like dashboard, if you create any project, it will be displaying here, project ID, project name, something, okay? Resources, trace, so all the information, you can find it here. So if you see the billing, so like this way, if you started any host and if you are not stopped, okay, the billing will be keep on continue the bill. So always when you have finished your work, stop the machines. That is the best practice forever, because for we are practicing here, right? But generally the companies who are using the Google Cloud, they will not stop the machines because they'll pay the amount, right? So they're using, instead of separate machines, they are maintaining their own environment. So they are using Google Cloud or AWS or Azure, anything. So this is also one of the cloud environment. Okay, so now you can see all the details here, and you can see there is a navigation menu. If you go and click, so these are the options will be available, lot of options. Okay, even I don't know all the options, I know only very less options. Okay, so lot of options available. Maybe you can see cloud database, MongoDB, everything, all the options available. But for our installation now, we'll go with compute engine. So you can see compute option, compute engine. Okay, so here if you put it mouse here, it will display all the options. Then we need to launch virtual machines, the first one. So compute engine, virtual machine. I am going to click. So to install our Hadoop, Cloudera Hadoop, we need a virtual machines, right? So we are going to install a virtual machine. Okay, compute engine, virtual instances, VM instances. So as of now, nothing created. You see, if you have any created, it will display here, virtual machines. So here you can see VM instances, nothing. So I'm going to create new virtual machine. Okay, so how many machines will create? So we have a document here. Let me open. You see, so Cloudera multi-node cluster on Google Cloud. So create a Google Cloud account, and this many 4 nodes we are going to take it. 4 machines. The first machine Cloudera Manager. So Cloudera Manager server, then data node 1, data node 2. These are the names. So you can give it any name. Whatever you want, you can give it. These are just I'm giving for understanding. Names I have given. So here I'll give Cloudera Manager name. Okay, then here you can see the region wise, US region or whatever the regions. I'm not going to change the regions. Okay, so here there is a series of options available. So series N1, N2, there may be different options available. Okay, I don't want to change anything. So here you can see machine type. What is currently automatically which one it is selected earlier? So 3 GB, right? 3.7 GB. So this is selected N1 standard. So 1 vCore, 3.75 GB memory. So I will change this to at least 8 GB. So server machine, I have taken 8 GB memory. Cloud RAM Manager server, one machine, nearly 7.5 GB. Okay, that is 2 cores, 7.5 GB, one machine. Then you can see here operating system. So by default, Debian it is selected. So you can change it. So what we are going to install? We are going to install CentOS, right? CentOS 7. That's it. And disk size, you can select 100 GB. Select. After you select these are the options, click on select. Right? So we have selected operating system also. Now you can see there are two options, firewall options. Allow HTTP, HTTPS. Click these two. So there is a one more, management, security, disk networking. Just expand this one. Go down. There is a one option, pre-mobility. Pre-mobility. You see here, availability policy, pre-mobility. Off recommended, you can select on. That's it. We have done. We are going to launch virtual machine. Create. One virtual machine is going to create. You can just observe it. So it will be display internal IP, public IP, everything will be displayed. Wait for just 5 to 10 seconds. You see, the machine is ready. So what was we created right now? This is the machine, right? In our Oracle VirtualBox. So this is the machine created. But everything is automatically here. You have to create first and you have to load the operating system and you have to done everything. But there automatically machine is created with simple steps. Refresh. You can see IP address. Using this, you can connect. So now no more PuTTY required. You can directly click on this one. It will open a PuTTY type window that we can see later. First, we need to create all the machines, 4 machines, right? So we'll create another machines. So one machine created, then second one. I'll create one data node one. Okay. So again, create instances. Same page. No need to go here. Create instance. Data hyphen node one. Data node hyphen one. Then similarly, I don't want to change anything. You can change again 8 GB, 7.5 GB, 2 cores. Okay. Then here change the OS. CentOS 7. So we have latest CentOS 8, but we'll install CentOS 7. Select allow HTTP firewall, expand, go down, check here pre-mobility on, create. So we are just creating a fresh machines, okay, fresh virtual machines. So we have to install separately some of the required mandatory softwares that we can see. Some of the steps we have to see it one by one. Okay, so let me launch 2 more machines. So any doubt as of now, how to launch a machine?
No, good.
Clear? Fine. So this you can get in a Google video also. Okay. So create a instance again. Data node -2. Then select again. I'm selecting 8 GB. Then change the operating system. Boot up disk. CentOS 7. 100 GB. Select these two firewall. Expand. Pre-mobility on. So what is this my PrimaBility on? So it is showing when you are selecting PrimaBility off recommended. What is that? So if you select on, okay, so if you launch your machine and you worked already, you have installed successfully, and then you forget to stop it, okay. If you select the option is on, so Google Cloud, okay, will be able to kill your session if required from their end. So that is the option. So by chance, if I start like this way machines, but if I'm not using, but if I select the option is on means they will kill my session. Okay. For example, if they require more resources, if it is not available, whoever set the option, they'll kill that. So that we can lose the, we can, we can save our billing purpose. That is what. But generally, companies they'll use off only, not on. But here we are practicing, we are doing it for on. Okay. So the last one will create. Data node -3. So we can take 5 nodes also, but again, so here everything is okay. So here selecting 7.5 GB, CentOS, CentOS 700, select, firewall select. So here PrimaBility on, create. So we have successfully launched 4 machines, 4 virtual machines. Okay, 4 machines. You can see machine color is green. That means the machine is running. You can just put your mouse, it will show running or stop. Stopped means, so this will not be green color. This is like a black color type something. Okay, we'll see that later. So now refresh. All the machines are up and running. Okay, we just created a machines, but here if you see whatever we are working, this we opened, launched a virtual machine, installed, and some of the required softwares already automatically we installed everything. So from here we are cloning it, right? But here we have nothing installed. We just launched a virtual machine and installed the required operating system only. Some of the softwares we have not installed, that we have to check it now one by one, server by server. Not at a time all servers we cannot select. Check one by one server, we have to check it. Some of the options, first of all, if you log into the machine, so here, if you log into this machine, we know username, password, but here we don't know, right? We don't know the username, password. So first point for every server, whatever you are going to launch it, you can change the root user password. Root is the admin user in the Linux environment, right? So any installation we can do through root account only. First, after launching the machine, so when you connect SSH, okay, I'll show it. So how to connect, it will open a window. So first change the root account password, then switch to root user, then we can start the checking of any other checks and then install the softwares. Okay, so then let us go to the first step. So we have launched 4 machines, right? Check all the basic settings. We are going to use CentOS 7. Okay, then after launching the CLI command, so just change the root user password using this command. Okay, let us see the first one. First, you can see there is an option SSH, right? Just click on here. A window will open. Window is trying to connect terminal. So the terminal window will launch my name. You see my name. Here is my name, right? So because I am the owner of this Google Cloud account, right? So it is showing my name, okay? But I don't want to show my name. For any installation, we need a root account, right? So what is the command here? Sudo passwd, password, so that it will ask a password, okay? Let us see. Sudo password. Okay, if I enter, it will ask a new password. So I'll set my password. Now I have set my password. Now log into SU root. I'm going to switch to user as root. Here it shows my user, right? I'm switching. You see now? Clear the screen. So if you want, I'll put a big size, but I don't see any option here. Let me check. Maximize the font size.
The zoom. You can click the zoom and make it bigger.
Size. Ah, okay, it's fine. Now you see machine with name root I logged in. So from here we can check the some of the basic checks. Okay, some of the basic checks we have to check it till here. Okay, till here we'll see that. So now I just done for one machine, right? Similarly, let me launch it for all machines. So SSH, I'm selecting second one. Yeah, okay. Sudo password. Okay, so I'll change my this machine root account password. I changed it. SU root. Right? So now I came back to the UC root account with data node 1. Fine. Minimize. Connect. Third one. Okay. Sudo password. Passwd. You can give your own password, whatever it is. Okay. So now I'll switch to root. You see, root account. Data node 2. Now last one. Okay, sudo password. So better give same password for all machines. Okay, so su root. Fine. We have changed root password for all 4 machines. Okay, then the next step. So here onwards, check SE Linux status. So SE Linux automatically that is enabled because we started a new machine, right? So if you run this one, it show enabled. So we have to disable it using open this file and go to this property. It shows some different value. We need to change it like this way. I'll check it here. I'll show it. So we'll go one by one and 4 machines. We can do it. So here mouse will not work. Copy paste. How it will work? So I'm just copied the line, right? So copy. Sometimes Control V will work. Control V. Directly keyboard Control V, or else Shift Insert button in the keyboard. Shift button, press Insert. You can use it Shift Insert or Control V. Both can work. So I am just opening the file, SE Linux file. You see, press I, go down. You see here SE Linux. It is enforcing, right? So this disabled, change it to disabled. Save it. right? One machine done, remaining other machines. Press I, go down, change it. Disabled. Okay, then last machine. So we have changed all four machines, right? So I'll just, okay. The next step, copy this line. So disable IPv6 tables. This is one of the option. So if you can run this one, it will show 1, 0, I think 0. So you need to change the value to 1. So if you want, you can run this command, sudo cat in anyone. You see, value, it is 0. 0 means disabled, sorry, enabled. We need to disable that one. Okay, so just open this file and add all properties in that file. Okay, so I'll open this file in all four machines at a time. Press I, go down, give some space, keep it, open second machine also. Press I, go down, and then the third machine. And fourth machine. Okay, then go to the document, copy lines here, copy and paste it one by one. Control V, save, exit, right? Then other machines. Save and exit. Then we have done this step also. The next step, disable firewall. We need to disable the firewall. Just run these commands one by one in all the machines. So generally 3 commands we can run it at a time, but here it will not execute 3 commands. Putty you can copy and paste, run all the commands at a time. But here we have to run one by one command in one server. I'm stopping the firewall. Okay, then second one, stopping, and I'm disabling. So take it first one, right? Second one, third one, fourth one. That's it. And third one, if you want to check the status of the firewall, you can run this command. You see, it is showing loaded, inactive, inactive. You see, active status inactive. So dead. Sorry, that is okay. Third one, fourth one. Fine. I'll maximize one by one. So I'll clear the screen. Then next step, so edit SSH config file. So you can run these two commands and later run this command. Okay, so just copy. This is first command for server. Then second, run it. Third one, then fourth one. Right? We have done. The next line, complete line, copy it, copy, and run the same. So this is public key, private key authentication. So we need to open authentication file and change it. So instead of that, I made it everything. You change it. You see, permission, permit root login, yes. Generally, you have to open this file and do it all one by one manually. So instead of that, I just gave it a single command. That's it. Done. The next step, we can run the restart the SSHD service. So simple. Restart. Restart. Restarted. Automatically restarted the service. Done. The next step. So this is transparent huge page compaction. So this is like operating system level. So when we are going with performance tuning part, this will explain on the theory. So just run this command. All 4 servers. Okay, then we have done. The next one, reboot the machine. After complete all the steps, reboot the server using reboot command. So we can just copy and paste it. So once you rebooted, the terminal will close it because we are rebooting the server, right? Which server? Here is the server. These servers were rebooted. So it will disconnect the server, then reconnect. Okay, rebooting. You see, reconnect. It will connect again. So reconnect. Then third one, reboot, reconnect. Then fourth one. Okay, it will take one minute mostly. Okay, the first one is rebooted. You see, rebooted, but again, you see, it came to my ID because I am the owner, right, for this. So again, switch to SU root. Right, now came back. Similarly, all other SU root. So similarly, other two machines. SU root. Then last one. Okay, so you can clear the screen. So now we have rebooted. Okay, some of the Linux softwares required to install. In here, I installed every software, whatever required. So that is what we are simply cloning it. Okay, but here we have nothing installed. So you can install these required softwares in one by one. All servers, we need to install it. Okay, similarly, Parallelly, you can run it for all the servers. It is now, you see, downloading from the internet all the required versions. Okay, this will take 2 to 3 minutes mostly. So all 4 servers I'm installed. So it will take some time. So next I'll copy second command. Whatever required softwares, it will be automatically downloaded. It's still loading. It will take some time. Okay, so first server it is done. I'm clearing the screen, then installing second one. Okay, we'll go to second server. Here also done. Clear the screen, install second software. Similarly, third server just completed. Clear the screen, install second one. Then last server, clear the screen, install wget. So it is done. Now take it to third one. First server, clear the screen, telnet, done. You see, done. Then second server, done. Then third one, clear, done. Then last server. Yes. So we have done almost manual steps. Okay. So now generate passwordless SSH key. So we need to generate on first server, management server, Cloudera manager server. Okay. After that, the key will be transferred to all the servers using this command. Okay. So that we can see that how to do that. Okay. First, you need to get the host name for every server. Okay. So I'll open the notepad. Okay. I'm opening a notepad. Go to 11 server. Type the command hostname -f. Okay. So then copy it, paste it here one by one. We need a host name. Similarly, second server, hostname -f. Copy, paste. Then similarly, third server, hostname -f. Then last one, hostname -f. Okay, so we got all 4 host names, right? So we'll generate a passwordless SSH key on master node. Okay, what is a master node? Cloudera manager. Okay, just I'm generating a key. Copy, paste it, enter. It will ask nothing, enter, no need to enter any value. Press enter, press enter, press enter. You see, key is generated. You see, The key is generated public key and saved in this directory, public key. This is identification key, ID underscore RSA, ID underscore RSA dot pub. This is a public key. Okay, so this key from this server will copy to all other servers. Okay, let us see. Copy command here, it is there, you see. I'm going to copy, we'll put it in some here. Okay, then instead of host place, I'll copy 3 times. So instead of host name, you can change it to copy the remaining hosts. Right? Data node 1, data node 2, using root account. Okay? Copy 3. So we are going to copy the key into 3 nodes using root account. Okay? So copy this one from the first server only. Now all the operations again from the first server. I am going to copy. I'm going to copy the above key, whatever I generated, into second data node 1. Okay, so press enter. You see it is asking yes or no. Yes. Then data node 1 password will ask. So when we are generating root account, I have given one password, right? So you have to give that password, data node 1 password, root account password. Then the key is copied into first server. First server is data node 1. Then similarly second. From the Cloudera Manager node only, because we generated the key here only. Yes, password. So 2 servers key copied from the first server, then third one. Yes. Yes, all from this server, manager server, Cloudera Manager server, key copied to remaining all 3 nodes. Okay, so task is done. Then here onwards, our actual step. Okay, so as of now, whatever we did, the command line steps, that is like 10 to 20%. That's it. We have done. So remaining, just download the Cloudera file, bin file. Okay, go to the path, change the permission, then start the installation. Okay, let us see. I'm just downloading the Cloudera using wget command. So I'm just taking here. You see, so this is the website, archive.cloudera.com, Cloudera Manager file, installer, latest Cloudera Manager installer.bin file. I am going to download. Where it is downloading, cd etc mrepos Cloudera Manager installer bin. So I am going to download it to here in this path. Okay, just copy in the only first node. So not required for any other nodes, only first node. Done. Downloaded. Just simple small file. Okay, downloaded. That's it. And we need to change the permissions of the file using run this command. But where is the file is available? cd, see here, etc mreposd, cd etc m dot repos dot d. Clear the screen. LL. You see, Cloudera Manager. The file is downloaded. This file, you can change the permissions, like running this command. If you see now, the file is showing a black color with no permissions, right? So you can run this command. It will show, file will show green color. You see, file it shows green color. So we have provided the permissions. Read, write, execute all the permissions. You see, some of the permissions missed here. The permissions we added, execute permission also. Okay, so that's it. We have done the command line installation. Just go to here, take this, copy, paste it. Now observe it. I'm going to enter. It will ask some Java installation. We'll go step by step. You see, Cloudera Manager, some Java. It's asking some say license version and all. Next, next. Accept the license. Yes. Next. Accept the license. Yes. Now Java is installing on first server. Only first server we are installing. That is Cloudera Manager.
So the Cloudera has all the packages, right? Java and everything comes with Cloudera.
Correct. First, but Cloudera Manager package node we are installing Java. Then later we have not installed, we have not downloaded Cloudera version. Still not yet. Only bin install file only downloaded. That's it.
Okay.
So even Java also we are installing only first server. Remaining 3 servers, when we are going actual installation, automatically it will install. That we can see step by step. And also we need any one database, as we mentioned yesterday, the diagram Cloudera. But we are not taking any database. Automatically there is a default database will be come here. So that's the default database installing automatically. But there is some disadvantage on the default database. Okay, so installation success as of now. Cloudera Manager setup is done. Okay, now we can see point your browser to this path. Okay, so 7180 is the Cloudera port. Okay, so this is a, if you can take it this name or first server IP address, then login web page. Okay, then login to Cloudera Manager with username admin, password also admin, default username admin, that we can see. Okay, then press enter, then it will come to normal command line. Okay, from now onwards we have to link this way. Go to, I'll show it how to do that. Installation success. Fine. So we have done the command line installation. Go to here. So when you are starting installation, so whatever your internet IP, internet ports and all, it should allow. So there is an option called here. Go to here. You see, there is VPC network. You see, right? So there is an option called firewall rules. Okay, VPC network, networking, VPC network, firewall rules. Click on this one. You see, you need to create a firewall. So what does it means? So whatever the IP incoming, outgoing IP address in your network, it should allow. So you see Cloudera, there is a, I think I removed that one. Okay, if we try to access the web page, it will not allow. So if it is not allow, we have to create a firewall rule. First, we'll try to access the network. Then if it is not allowing, we'll try to create. Okay, so let me open a separate window. So what is the IP? We need a Cloudera Manager IP. Again, go back to here, compute engine, virtual machines. So, oh, one data node is down. You see, automatically down something. So we can start it. Let us check. Okay, reconnect. You have to observe it. Whether anyone, sometimes it will go down because it's those nodes are in the cloud, right? Sometimes automatically go down. We have seen several times when installing. We can just monitor it. If any node down, we can just restart it and reconnect. Go with. Make sure always all the nodes are up and running. Maybe some of the resources unavailability, it won't go down. So we need this IP address, Cloudera IP, right? Just copy this IP, go here, the last, then 7180 port. Sometimes if your firewall rule is not created, so this page will not display. But in my last, all the practicals and all, I have created already the firewall rule set, where you can find it here, the VPC network. Okay, so firewall rule set. So how to create a firewall? Okay, create a firewall rule. You can give some name, ABCD, or else new hyphen firewall, something. Okay, then here target host. Okay, target host, IP range. So source IP like this way, 0.0.0.0 by 0, and ports allow all. That's it. You can create a rule. So here select all, give some name, firewall rule name. You can give some description if you want required anything. For example, Cloudera firewall rule. Then everything is okay. Go to here, target specified, or else you can select all instances in the network. The first one, target. Targets all instances in your network. Then IP range 0.0.0.0 by 0. Then allow all ports, create a rule, so that your access will be enabled, your firewall, and when you try to launch, a page will be opened like this way. Okay, so default, what is your username and password? Admin login. Yeah, there may be some license version. Welcome to Cloudera Manager Enterprise License. All the options you can see. You see, there is a continue button, but that is disabled. If you, until and unless you select this one, the button will be disabled. If I am selecting, that will be enabled. Right? Continue. And here you can see the options, license option. This is completely free, but not all options are available. These are the options. These, some of the free version, some of the options available. So this is completely free. It means lifetime. If you are going with this 60 days free, some options available. You see, purchased version. You have to purchase if you are going with. You have to purchase from the Cloudera and you have to upload the license. Okay, so we'll go with this middle one. Select, click on here, continue. Okay, so the package Cloudera correct version 5.16.2. In that, this many packages they implemented. They are implemented these many packages, these many tools, and giving a package type. Okay, I am clicking on continue. You see, nothing, just observe it, just check and read it, and continue. So here, specify which servers you want to install the cluster. So we need server names. So this, you can go back to your virtual page, compute engine page. So now you can take these servers, internal IP, one by one, per one line per one. Next. 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 Right? So after you entering all the servers, search. So whether the servers are able to access, it will display in the down. You see, servers are able to access. You see, host is ready. 1 millisecond response time, 1 millisecond, 5 milli. So hosts are ready. Click on continue. Right? So the package here, a lot of options available. So we are going with parcels, the latest one, 5.16.2-1. That is the latest one. So nothing, no need to select. If you want to select, you can package wise or version wise, whatever it is, based on your everything. You can change different options. So we don't want to change it anything. We'll go with CDH 5.6.1 parcels. Okay, continue. Then here, cluster installation, accept Java license, JDK. Go here, select this one. So one more option is coming, install Java unlimited version. Then that's it, continue. Okay, this is single user mode. So we don't want to go with single user mode. If you want to go with single user, you can select single user mode. Otherwise, generally we'll go with multi-user mode. Okay, continue. Nothing, select here, continue. So here, installing other nodes, we need to give some username and password. Okay, so we are going with root user, right? We are installing every server by root user. Okay, let us, it's not connecting this server, otherwise it will fail. Server is okay. Or else I'll try to relaunch. Okay, anyway, server is ready, but it's connecting SSH connection. We'll wait until the terminal. Okay, so su root. Okay, so all machines ready. So let us go to the last one. Okay, so we need to mention one common user. If we have a root user, right? So I am entering password here, root user password 2 times, like password confirmation password. Then SSH port 22. Number of simultaneous nodes. How many nodes you want to install? For example, if you are installing a 30 node cluster or 40 node cluster, at a time installation, you can mention the value here. Okay, or if you don't want to go to root user, if you have any different user, you select here all hosts with same password or same private key, everything, anything, you can go with like this. So 2 options. Okay, we are going with password only. Continue. You see, the now installation, the files are copying. First it will copy the Java. What and all copying, you can find it here, status, which one is installing. Until and unless success, this button will not be enabled. You see, continue button disabled. Until and unless the steps are complete, we cannot go to the next step. If anything failed, we have to skip that, go back, or else we have to skip one server failed. We have to skip and continue, or else we have to go back and then fix the issue. So this will take 5 minutes max. Let us see. Now installing only Java and some of the packages. You see, Cloudera Manager agent is installing now. Data nodes, name nodes, nothing as of now. We are just installing Cloudera Manager, Cloudera agents. Okay, so installation completed of the first server. So any questions as of now?
No, so far.
Okay, able to follow. So compared to our, which one, Apache Hadoop, this is somehow better, right? So nothing, no need to open any command lines for the configuration files, nothing. You can go directly, continue, next, next, next. Then finally, cluster page will launch. There we can see all the values, all the configuration files, cluster status, everything.
So
But only
the properties are same for everything. The one we copy the properties.
correct. That we can see that. So no, we are not required. We are not going to give any properties. But in the 2x, we copied right everything properties.
Yeah.
Here, default properties will come. Automatically default will come. All the properties. So whatever you do, you want to change that properties, you can change it. Now you see all our success. Continue button enabled. Click on continue. So now you see the software Cloudera distribution 5.16, it is downloading. First it will download, then distribute. So you see 0 of 0, it means we have 4 servers, right? So one by one server it will distribute, unpacked, activated. This may be 5 minutes max. So in the Apache Hadoop, what we did? So Apache Hadoop, what we did, like clutch command, we are running, right? Clutch command means it is moving to all the servers at a time. Here also, through web UI, they in backend, they are using clutch command only. We have given IP address of the machine, right? So it is moving using clutch command only. But no need to go any backend. Everything through command line. You see here in the 4 servers, it is displaying Cloudera Manager, data node 1, data node 2, data node 3. It is distributing. After that, unpacked. You can see some green color, it will display here. Let us see. Once unpacked, distributed, once activated, you can find it one by one. So you see now started with unpacked. So like this way, how many nodes, there is no matter. But what is that? You need to know each and every machine IP address, you can install it. You can try with 10 node cluster also. But the Google Cloud free account, it will not accepting more than 5 to 6 nodes. I observed, that's what I have taken 4 nodes only. You can install 10 nodes also, but one by one node, first whatever we did, manual steps you have to do it, and you can install a 10 node cluster if it is accept. But I did not try it. I tried 5 to 6 nodes. It is not allowing 6 nodes. 5 nodes it's allowed, but up to limit of memory also 30 GB free memory we cannot. After 30 GB we cannot install it. I guess we cannot use it free. You see, it's distributing one by one server. So the same document you can install here also. You can clone 4 machines, CM Cloudera Manager and DN1, DN2, DN3. You can take it 4 nodes, but here we have installed for us, like we have given only 2 GB memory, but 2 GB is not at all enough. That's what every server we have taken 8 GB, right? So 2 GB means it will take a lot of time to install your normal Windows machine or whatever your personal laptop. It's cloud means we have taken 8 GB, 7 GB, 6 GB, right? It will go fast. Starting batches, I showed it in my laptop only. So I have taken every machine 3 GB,